Hello my spooky friends, it is Stacy and welcome to Special Effects Makeup on a Budget, and today I'm going to show you how to do stitches in the face using only 3 products. Today I'm using my Skin Illustrator SFX palettes, and you can see that it's very well loved and used, but I'm using this for the majority of the actual stitches, and for a little bit of irritation I'm using a couple of palettes for bruising. These are eyeshadow palettes. You've seen me use these before. These are the Color Pop, so this is a good purple that I like to use in my looks, and also a yellow to have some irritation and some bruising along the skin. I think it's an easy one for everyone to use. You don't necessarily have to use alcohol paints. You can use anything that you have at home. You can use lipstick, lip gloss, water, or cream and grease paints. But today I'm using Skin Illustrator. It's alcohol paint and it's activated with 99% alcohol. When I am doing my looks, I know this thing looks horrendous, but I have colors that I have mixed for other things, like when I was doing my teeth, and you can still reuse these colors. If you're picking this up, I do recommend to wait at the end of the year, because that's when it actually has the only sale for the last 4 or 5 years that I've ever seen it go on sale at all. So if you're looking to pick this one up, it's a very good one. This is industry standard, and you can get it on sale during the holidays, Cyber Monday, and all that other good stuff. So I have a bigger bottle that I put a little bit of alcohol into the bottle that comes with it. It comes with a little bit of activator, but you can still get a bigger bottle and just transfer that into it. And so what I'm going to do is start on this side of the face. Now I have contour and a little bit of foundation on. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out drawing a line over across into the cheek area. So from the forehead into the eyebrow, over the eyelid, and down into the cheek area. But do be careful when you're using these, because it is alcohol. It's very irritating to the skin. So just do a patch test before you use this. So I'm going in with a darker aged blood, my darker blood. Now, when it comes to activating this, the less amount of product that you put into it is going to determine the opacity. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying to find a way to show you. I have a little bit in here and it's very wet, and what I like to do is I always like to test my color on the back of my hand to see if that is the color that I want and how dark I want it. I do like that it's dark and I have a nice line. And once this dries, this is good for parties, because you don't have to worry about sweat taking it off or it smudging or anything like that. So I'm going to try to attempt to do this and talk at the same time. I'm not used to this, but I don't know about you guys, but I just like to sit down and relax a little bit more to do some of these videos. So I'm going to start, and I think I want this to angle out this way. I'm just gonna go close the eye and down into the cheek. I'm gonna darken it up just a little bit. And bring this a little bit darker. So I'm making the skin is thinner, is thicker, and then a little bit thinner and thicker. So I like to think about the way the body sustains injury when I do looks like this. So a little bit darker when you have more fat, and thinner to darker. And I'm going to pat a little bit of this color while it's still a little bit wet around for irritation, to use and to lighten things up a little bit. I'm going to just put a little bit of the alcohol onto this here and clean up this line just a little bit. And clean up this bottom line just a little bit. And it's okay if the makeup comes off because we are going to add some discoloration. So I think that I like that a little bit more. Just clean up a line. You could do this with a brush too, but I'm doing this with what I think everyone is most likely to have. So I want this to be a fun way to learn how to do something like this and not have to worry about, do I have the right things, the right brushes? So I'm going to go in and I'm going to activate my black in this palette. And I'm going to use that for the actual stitches. And then with the stitches, I'm going to highlight in white. And this brush, if you're interested, comes from Gavisi Beauty. It's more for the waterliners. So I'm going to go in and just do different kinds of stitches. I'm going to do vertical, or I'm going to do horizontal and some crisscross, just to make it a bit more interesting. And I'm using a reference photo, trying to do only one pass. And one thing about the alcohol paints is to keep everything at the same opacity, I wet my brush with the paint for each line that I put through. And that's just a good rule to practice. You'd rather have enough and go through with one pass than you would have to constantly dip and constantly go back over. Now going into the eyebrow, this one's a little bit more tricky. So I'm going to do a bigger and a thicker right in that eyebrow. Onto the lid here, a little bit haphazard for that Halloween vibe feel to it. So I think that's pretty visible. I'm going to stop there, wet the Q-tip again, and I'm going to clean up just a little of this line because it's a little bit longer than what I want it to be. I'm going to activate the white and check my color. I like it. So for each stitch that I put in, I just want to go in and highlight it just a little bit. You still want to see the black. Highlight that white all the way across. And do that for every stitch. Go all the way down. And continue all the way down the face. Now that I have that highlighted, I want to go and tap in around the points of each stitch, a little bit of color, and I'm going to use a different brush for that. This one's a bit thicker with looser, the bristles are more loose. I'm going to go in with the lighter red, the Flesh Blood. I got jokes. I know, sometimes it's like I'm not even speaking English anymore. And see, this one's a lot brighter than the other one, so that's what we're going to tap in around for this look. Tap in some discoloration. And one thing about the skin, it loses its color once you cut off, aggravate, or change the blood supply. So that's why you get raised skin. The oxygen's still there, but it's not as much as it was because of the interruption from the injury. So that's what I like to think about when I am doing these looks. to make it look irritated. Tapping it with your finger will get rid of the harsh line. Tap in some color because a laceration would absolutely throw a little bit of blood, not a whole lot. But hey, it just depends. If you want it in your face bloody, you do it. It's what you like and what you want to go with. But today is just getting used to where to put highlights and lowlights and creating a little bit of irritation. Just be careful where you use alcohol. And I'm going in with just a bit more, the same color, and I'm going to dot the marks here, make them a bit darker because they're going into the skin. So I'm just going to tap on the edge. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as it looks like an indentation into the skin. I like things to be haphazard and fun. And I like it to translate. I don't like to do looks where some injuries are not as bad as others, but if I can make mine gross, way beyond healing, infection, well, I'm going to do that because that's my thing. I like it because it's so fun to create that, as weird as that sounds. For the light color blood in the center, I'm going to put this on my finger and I'm going to tap it around this area here. Maybe a little bloody nose. It's been bloodied. Darker in the folds or the skin, the lip, and inside the nose. Because it has a shadow, you want that darker. Now, do not use your brush anymore once you put it in your nostrils. Please, oh my God, please just put that one to the side. Do not use it anymore. So with the eyeshadow palettes, I'm going in, I'm just going to pop in a little bit of irritation around the inside, and I'm going to use a dark yellow here. I'm using this one because I think it makes the irritation and bruising look more realistic. So on a very small brush, get some product, tap it off, and then start going around a little bit around in these areas in between. And tap. A little bit of bruising in yellow. Not a whole lot because yellow indicates that it's an older injury. But we just want something that's going to make the skin look irritated. I like yellow and red together for this to mix it in. And this is just you do not have to use this part. You can just then go with what you've already done. And I'm going in with this purple because I want a little bit of bruising. And I can control it with this brush just a little bit where the bruising of the flesh would have torn. And it makes it a little bit more realistic. Maybe you were hit. The flesh didn't tear a whole lot. And you can move this all the way over with bruising to the side of the face. Like this face got the laceration. The other one was just banged up a little bit, but it's up to you. It's what you want to do. Have fun with it. It does not take expensive products. Like I said, you can use cream paints for this, water paints, But if you're going and you're using it on the set of a movie, or if you're going to be dancing the night away at a great Halloween party, go with this. They're very easy. They last a long time. I had my palette and you see how well I've used it. It lasts for several years if you take care of it and know how to use it. So here it is. Here is the stitches in the face. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know it's a bit different from what I normally do, but I appreciate you sitting here and listening to me ramble. I do have the gift of gab. I'm pretty much a motor mouth, but I just want you to have fun and have different ways to doing certain looks. I know I've done this with scar wax, tissue paper, and liquid latex, but I know that there are a lot of people that are allergic to adhesive, so I also try to find several different ways to do the same look, making sure that things stay affordable within within time constraints, budgets, and all that stuff. That's how I consider doing my videos, because I'm just like you. I want a good product. I don't want to pay a whole lot for it, and I want a very good result. So I hope you like it, and thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.